All right, welcome back, everyone. We are diving deep into Squid Game Season 2 today.
Yeah, buckle up.
Oh, yeah. This one had a lot to unpack, especially after that ending.
Oh, for sure. Tons to dig into.
A ton to unpack. And, you know, the listeners, a lot of questions came in. Everyone wants to know, like, what's the deal with player 001?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was the biggest twist I think I've ever seen.
Huge, right.
So that's what we're gonna break down today. We're gonna talk about him, the front man, all the craziness. What about you? What stood out to you most in this season?
It's really how much deeper they go into, like, the characters this time.
Right.
Like, season 1 was all about the shock, the games, the visuals.
The spectacle.
Right, exactly. But this season, they really dig into, like, why?
Yeah.
Why are these people doing this? What makes someone become a player or a guard? Or even, you know.
The front man.
The front man, yeah. Heavy stuff.
It is. Okay, well, let's just get right to it. We can't avoid it any longer. Player 001, the harmless old man.
Is the front man?
The front man.
I still can't believe it.
Hwang In-ho, right.
Yep, that's him.
It's insane to think he was manipulating everyone, especially Gi-hun, like right in front of us.
Right, and we all fell for it. Those stories he told Gi-hun about his wife, the surgery.
I felt so bad for him.
Me too. But it was all a lie. Just to gain Gi-hun's trust.
Chills, literal chills. And then to find out he's Detective Junho's brother.
Oh, man, that family drama.
Makes you all about a tangled web.
Makes you think, like, what happened to those brothers? How did they end up on such opposite sides of this whole thing?
Right, like one brother's trying to expose these horrific games, the other's running them.
Deep stuff, man.
Okay, so how did In-ho even become the front man in the first place?
Well, we know he wasn't the original game creator, right? That was Il-nam.
Yeah, the creepy old guy from season 1.
Turns out In-ho was a previous winner, player 132.
Oh, wow.
And then somehow he took over for Il-nam. We don't know exactly how yet, but
it's wild, right? Imagine winning those games, surviving all that, and then choosing to run them.
That's going to mess you up, right? Like, psychologically.
For sure. Makes you wonder about the kind of person you have to become to do something like that.
The show definitely makes you think about that.
It does. Okay, well, let's move on to Gi-hun. He could have just walked away, right? Rich, free.
Right. A new life.
But he came back. What drove him to do that?
Guilt, I think. He couldn't live with what he'd seen.
Right.
The deaths, the betrayal. And he wanted justice for those who didn't make it.
He teamed up with Detective Junho, too, right?
Yeah, to try and expose the whole operation.
They even tried smuggling a tracker in, remember? In a fake tooth?
Talk about resourceful.
But it didn't work out so well.
No. The guards found it during the intake process.
Ah, bummer. That left Gi-hun totally on his own. Even more danger than before.
Right. And then there were the games themselves, some new ones this time.
Oh, yeah, pentathlon, right? With the traditional Korean games, that one was intense.
And Mingle, that was creepy.
Yeah, like a deadly game of Among Us or something.
It's crazy how they take these childhood games and twist them.
So messed up. So who does Gi-hun end up teaming up with? Inside the games, I mean.
He finds his old friend, Park Jung-bae. Remember him?
Oh, yeah, from the neighborhood.
And there's this tough ex-Marine, Dae-ho.
What about player 001?
Well, that's the thing. He's part of the alliance, too.
Oh, my God. The front man just chilling with Gi-hun, pretending to be his friend.
It makes their whole relationship so creepy now. Yeah.
Right. Like, was any of it real, or was he just playing Gi-hun this whole time?
We may never know for sure.
That's scary. Okay, so things escalate, right? Players start rebelling.
Oh, yeah. There's a vote. Do we keep playing or stop?
And
split right down the middle.
Intense. What happens next?
Well, it leads to all this infighting.
Oh, no.
Like, the games are designed to make them turn on each other.
Yeah, brutal.
So Gi-hun, he steps up. Him and his allies, they come up with a plan.
What do they do?
They decide to target the spectators.
Whoa, the masked VIPs.
Yep. They want to expose them, show the world what's really going on.
That's a huge risk.
Yeah, they figure it's all or nothing at this point.
I remember something about Gi-hun pretending to be dead.
Oh, yeah, to buy them some time for the attack.
Bold move. Did it work?
Not exactly. There's this huge betrayal.
Yeah, who betrays them?
This player, Young-il, he was working with the front man all along.
What? No way! That's devastating.
Yeah, it completely ruins their plan. The front man finds out, cracks down hard, and that's when he, like, reveals himself.
Takes off the player 001 mask, puts on the front man gear.
It's a chilling scene.
So, what happens to Gi-hun in Jungbae.
That's where things get really, really heavy.
Oh no, this is the part I'm dreading.
Gi-hun, he sacrifices himself to protect Gi-hun.
I knew
It's one of the saddest moments in the whole show.
Man, that loss is going to hit Gi-hun hard.
Oh yeah, the creators have said it's going to change him completely.
Wow, that's heavy. Okay, I think we need a minute to process all that before we get into the ending and what it means for season 3.
Yeah. Good idea. There's a lot to take in.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, heavy stuff. Poor Gi-hun, starting season 3 with that loss.
Talk about setting the stage for a revenge mission. But hold on, does Gi-hun even know the truth yet? About Player 001, I mean?
That's what's crazy, right? He's totally in the dark. The season ends, cliffhanger city, Gi-hun still thinks the front man and that old guy are two different people.
Oh man, the look on his face when he finds out, I can't even imagine.
Talk about a mind-blown moment. It's going to be epic.
Okay, so, season 3. Where do we even begin? What are your thoughts?
Buckle up, because I think things are going to get dark. Really dark.
Gi-hun's lost everything. His friend, his innocence, his trust. He went through hell to try and expose the games. And for what?
He's seen the worst of humanity, and now he's got this burning rage inside him. The frontman created that.
That's got to be tough for the frontman too, right? Seeing what he's created, what he's become.
Yeah, but is there any remorse there? Or is he just numb to it all? Remember, he was a player once too.
Ugh, such a twisted cycle. He went through it, won, and then decided to keep the whole thing going.
Maybe season 3 will give us more of his backstory. Why did he stay? What broke him?
Yeah, good point. There's a lot we still don't know about him. But we do know he'll be facing a very different Gi-hun next season.
Oh yeah, one who's ready to fight no matter the cost.
The showdown we've all been waiting for, Gi-hun versus the frontman.
And it's going to be more than just guns and games, you know. It's about their beliefs. Can Gi-hun hold on to his hope? Can he find a way to beat the frontman without becoming him?
Those are the real questions, right? The show makes you think about the choices we make when everything's on the line.
Makes you wonder, what would you do? Could you stay good in that kind of environment? Or would you be corrupted too?
Man, Squid Game, not just a show, it's a social experiment.
It makes you question everything.
Okay, well, we need to rewind for a second, back to Player 000.
A big reveal, right?
Yeah. It changes everything about season 2, doesn't it?
It's like watching it with new eyes, you know. All those little moments, the conversations, the way he looked at Gi-hun.
Like he was always one step ahead. Planning, manipulating. It's giving me chills just thinking about it.
It's brilliant writing, though. The way they laid it all out, the clues were there all along.
But so subtle. We were all fooled completely. And now that we know about Jungbae...
That was rough.
It was. That moment, you just knew, this is it. Something terrible is about to happen.
The way he just stepped up, sacrificed himself. Gi-hun didn't even have time to react.
Heartbreaking. How do you think Gi-hun will handle that going forward?
Remember, he was already struggling with the guilt of winning. All those people he lost.
Yeah, and now his best friend. The one person who really understood what he was going through.
It's got to push him over the edge, right? He was already questioning everything, and now this.
He's going to go after the front man with everything he's got.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just about exposing the games anymore. It's personal.
Revenge is a powerful motivator.
Especially when you've got nothing left to lose.
So, season 3. Any guesses? What's going to happen?
It's hard to say. But I think it's going to be less about the games themselves and more about the battle between these two men.
Gi-hun and the front man.
Yeah. Their ideals, their choices, the whole future of the games might depend on who wins.
Talk about high stakes.
This isn't just about entertainment anymore. This is about, the fate of humanity. Can we overcome the darkness, or will it consume us?
Wow, that's a lot to think about. What do you think, listener? Are we headed for, a full-on war? Or can Gi-hun find a way to break this cycle of violence? Without becoming another monster himself.
Yeah, can he really fight fire with fire?
Uh-huh.
Or is there another way?
So many questions, and I guess we'll have to wait for season 3 for answers. But one thing's for sure, this whole Player 001 reveal, it just throws a whole new light on season 2, doesn't it?
Totally changes the game. Everything he said, everything he did, it's all got this creepy new meaning now.
Right, like those games of marbles with Gi-hun, I was bawling.
Me too, man. Heartbreaking.
But now, it's was he toying with him the whole time? Was that all part of some sick game?
It makes you wonder, how much of the frontman is still human? Is there any part of him that regrets what he's done?
And what about his brother, Jun-ho? Do you think he's still out there somewhere?
Man, I hope so. Their story, that's a whole other layer of complexity, right? Two brothers, on opposite sides of this whole insane system.
I mean, what are the odds? It's like something out of a Greek tragedy.
Right. Fate versus free will, duty versus family. It's all there.
And then there's Junbei.
Ugh, don't even get me started. Still not over it.
One of the most loyal characters on the show, and he gets taken out like that just to protect Gi-hun.
It's brutal, man. But it also shows you what Gi-hun's up against. These games, they don't care about loyalty, friendship, nothing.
Yeah.
It's all about survival no matter the cost.
And that's what makes this show so powerful, I think. It forces you to confront those hard questions. What would you do in that situation? Would you sacrifice everything to save yourself? Or would you stand up for what you believe in, even if it means losing everything?
Yeah, it makes you think about the kind of person you are deep down, your values, your morals.
And ultimately, that's what Gi-hun's facing now, isn't it? He's got to decide what kind of future he wants to build. For himself, but maybe even for the whole world.
No pressure, right?
Right. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, haven't we? Squid Game Season 2, it's a wild ride from start to finish.
Twists, turns, betrayals, and some serious mind games. It's the kind of show that stays with you long after you've finished watching.
Absolutely. And we want to hear your thoughts. What did you think of the big twist? What are your predictions for Season 3? Head over to our website, leave a comment, join the conversation.
We're all in this together, right? Trying to figure out this crazy world, one deep dive at a time.
That's right. Thanks for joining us today, everyone. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and most importantly, stay curious. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into a topic that's got you thinking.